Before we get started here, I want to remind everyone to please hit that like button and share this video on whatever social media you have. Since this is a restricted channel, you're the only chance we have to overcome YouTube's anti-2A bias and discrimination. Damn it. I am a grown-ass man. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the America Guns and Freedom Podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As always, this is just a conversation between me and my viewers. It's a place you can come every day and ask me any question you want. Doesn't have to be gun related. Suggest any topic you want to discuss, and I'll do my best to address it. If you ask me something specific, like something technical or about a certain item that I don't have any experience with, pay attention to the live chat. Even though I don't know it, someone out there will, and they'll be more than happy to let you know they have the answers that you're looking for. So pay attention to the live chat and participate. Builds a sense of community, and that's one of the main reasons we do this every day. So people who don't otherwise have the opportunity to have conversations like this will be able to. So come on in, enjoy the conversation. You don't even have to pay attention to me. You can talk amongst yourselves. Today we're going to do something a little different, though. I want to say that right off the bat. Instead of all the super chats, I'd say all, like there's a ton of them. Instead of the super chat money going to pets and vets like it normally does, today it's all going to go to Toy Guns for Tots. So if you do a $20 donation, you will get an entry into the Toy Guns for Tots drawing. Otherwise, you'll still get the entries into the nightly knife drawing, the monthly silver bullet drawing. Tonight's choices for knives are you can choose the Cold Steel Spartan or the Mora knife here, which I don't know what this is, but it's a camping knife. It's got the little thing for pounding tent stakes in the end, and it's a fixed blade. And so you got a choice between the fixed blade Mora knife and the Cold Steel giant pocket knife here. What's this thing called again? The Spartan. So you will get entries into that, and you can also get entries into those by going through the YouTube super chat tonight or gifting memberships. We don't usually do that, but we're doing it tonight. With that being said, let's get over and do what I normally like to do at the beginning of each chat, is read the names of people who have bought merchandise over the last 24 hours and see if they've done anything to help support Toy Guns for Tots or Pets and Vets and TYMP. We do have 2 orders today, and we got Donald Millard. He actually got a Toy Guns for Tots shirt. That goes to Toy Guns for Tots. He said that in the comment section of my live chat last night that he just bought a shirt. And there it is. That was Donald Millard. Not Monald Dillard, Donald Millard. And Sean Bain bought a shirt, but he bought a Caliber Effectiveness shirt. So he's supporting Pets and Vets and TYMP and Handguns for Heroes. So thanks to them for helping support the channel. If you want to help support the channel, or you want to donate to the Toy Guns for Tots and help some pro toy gun kid this year to have a happy Christmas, feel free to go over my website, TYMPPistolProject.com. Over there, right on the main page, if I had it brought up, I could show it. Hold on. Let me get it brought up so I can show it instead of just sitting here like a moron talking about it, because I can show it. Let's see here. If I can remember what my website address is. There we go. So if you go over to TYMPPistolProject.com, and I will put a link in the upper corner of this video. You go over there, right at the very top of the page, Toy Guns for Tots 2025. You can donate through here directly, and you'll get your entries into your drawings. You can donate any amount, but I need to put it on there that you can donate any amount, because I think some people think you can only donate 20. You can donate $1 if you want. But if you do that, you can do it that way. Or if you want, you can go down here to Yankee Swag Bag Bonanza. Click here for full merchandise. And there's a section over here, a little store for some Toy Guns for Tots commemorative stuff that will, you can buy, saying I donated to Toy Guns for Tots and all I got was this lousy t-shirt, or this lousy ornament, or this lousy mug. There's other things like that over here. I don't have the mug up yet, but it will be. And there's also things you can buy for other people, like the ornament here that on the back says a donation has been made on your behalf to Toy Guns for Tots 2025. Because of you, an in-need child's Christmas will be brighter. You can buy those, give them out as gifts to people, keep a few extra around. Or you can get a mug that does the same thing here. It's got the same little thing on the back of it there. It's got the logo on the front. So you can go ahead and you can get yourself one of those, or get a few of them, put candy canes in them, have them as extra gifts to give people for Christmas. It's like here, it's one of those like I planted a tree in your name in Israel kind of things. But it's I gave a kid a toy gun for Christmas in your name when other people wouldn't and other programs wouldn't. So feel free to go over there, do any of that stuff. Or if you want, you can just buy normal merchandise to support the channel, or become a TYMP supporter by joining Patreon or Subscribe Star, be a regular monthly member of the channel, get your patches, etc. Also, you can register for TYMP or sign someone else up for, as you can see here, there's where you can register to be a TYMP beneficiary. And there you can nominate a veteran to be for Handguns for Heroes, which we hopefully shall be doing soon. And we will do backup months for the month we missed. So all that can be done from the website there. So go on over and help out the channel or one of the programs we run. Let's get started now by going over to the questions. See if we got anything coming in. Where are we at here? Okay, we got Johnny Mandrick weighed in tonight. And he said, the guy who is making private companies give the government a 10% or greater share of their company and veto powers is calling other people communist. It is kind of ironic, yes. Well, he's not. That's not communist, though. That's fascist. I don't think communism actually exists anywhere, but socialism exists in a lot of places. Lots of socialist nations and a lot of nationalists with like democratic socialist policy. We're one of the countries that have a lot of socialist policies: Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, unemployment, roads, fire departments, police departments, etc. Those are all socialist programs. Democratic socialists agree with those things. And then, of course, we're finding out now also, so do a lot of the conservatives that say they don't. As soon as they miss a Medicaid payment or a SNAP benefit payment. Although I saw the video last night, one of the lowest scumbags I think I've seen in a long time. They were standing outside of a food bank line in a rural, I think it was Kentucky. And a lot of the people were standing there waiting in line. I mean, there was a long ass line, mostly about 95% white, of course, because it's rural Kentucky. And the guy was walking along filming them going, how come nobody's wearing their Trump hat? Where are all your Trump hats at? And I'm like, the people are in line at a food bank. Why are you trying to humiliate people in line at a food bank? Why are you bringing politics there? I mean, I know politics are the main reason it's happening, but you don't have to shame the people in line or who probably are already feeling a little ashamed anyway. So that was pretty low in my opinion. But Christian Carlson just said 38 super. So we're going to ignore Christian Carlson. And then MWA said, Hail Phil, all Father, Lord of wisdom. I call upon you for wisdom in my endeavors. I thank you for the strength you've given me. Well, he ain't going to help you with none of that shit. He don't care. He don't give two shits how you do, or, whether you pass your test or whether you, do well at something. He don't give two shits. World keeps turning as far as he's concerned. He don't get into that. He just keeps us from being annihilated from extra dimensional sources. He doesn't really get involved in our everyday life. He don't know your name, if that's what you're wondering. Can I get a 12 gauge slug for the silver bullet? No, not unless you make one. I mean, how hard would it be to turn an old silver fork or something into one, though? Do they make for the slugs, do they make like a mold or something that you could make? Silver's hard to mold, though, but would you have to spin it maybe? Like if you molded it a little oversized and then milled it down or something? Someone who knows something about that, answer that question. Because I don't know the answer to that question. Was that Johnny Mandrick that asked that question? It was. All right, let's get back to the chat here, to the questions. John Bushk donated to the Pets and Vets Fund here and said, tonight it's Toy Guns for Tots, and said, thoughts on the new blued Colts, better than the stainless or just different? by BTY, are you real or are you using facial filters to look like an old bearded white man? No, I don't think there are any filters that make you look like I look. I don't know why they would do that. I should get some filters that smooth things out. I should shave. Was there a filter that takes this away? Because this used to be up here, and now it's kind of like down lower. And also like right here at the corners, they're kind of sagging. Is there a filter that takes that out? I see a lot of these women online that people have been making fun of these, like especially a lot of conservative women, older conservative women doing their posts about like, seems like the liberals got owned on this or whatever. And then they'll find stuff from their profiles to show what their face really looks like. And I'm like, well, that's mean. I mean, they paid money for that filter. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see here. Let's get back to the questions. Boo, boo, boo. That was John Bushk. Tim Moeller also chimed in here. Tim Moeller. And he said, "Hail Phil, have you been paying attention to the rift in MAGA with the Americans' first faction breaking off?" I don't pay a lot of attention to MAGA, to be honest. I don't know any MAGA people, at least not around me. I mean, I know some online, and they tend to be not very reasonable people, so I don't really spend a lot of time talking to them. So I don't really pay a lot of attention to MAGA. I don't watch like Fox News or anything, so I don't really have a lot of experience with MAGA. I don't like anyone that's part of a cult, be it left, right, or center. If it's a cult, I ain't got no interest in it. Well, unless, of course, it's one of them cults where you get to have sex with people all the time. But even then, I don't have an interest with it now. I would when I was younger. And some people say church feels cult. And I'm like, no, because I don't want to have sex with nobody. Nobody that's in it, at least. So I kind of avoid cults. Not cults like pythons. I'm talking cults with a U. People say I say them the same. Did I win anything? If not, it was completely rigged and I demand a recount. Who is this? Joe Pearson. I don't think you did win anything. What's his face? Corey Long made out like a bandit. Blame him. If you didn't win anything, blame him. It's his fault. Wait, I got charged for something just now. Don't know what it was. Oh, that's for Canva, I do believe. I have a Glock performance trigger kit for my 40 cal Glocks. Should I put it in my 23, 22, or 35? 23. I put it in the 23. That'd be my choice. That's my favorite one of the bunch. That was Clinton Barella, by the way. And you can stand under his Barella for a fee, I'm sure. Let's see here. Where are we at? Am I caught up on the supers? I do believe I am. Why is it doing that? That's not what I'm trying to do, but all right, there's some supers over here I need to get a hold of to answer first. Sean Bain said, confused today. Are we still hating on the P320 or are we buying Gen 3 Glocks? Either one. You can do both. You can hate on the P320 while you buy up all the Gen 3 Glocks. You can do both. Multitask, people. Oliver B gifted a membership. I don't know who got it. Let's see if I can see who got it. Donnie W got it. And then Sweetie, member for 22 months, used his member chat to say, are you going to try the Glock V model? Are you interested in trying it? I'm no and no. I can't say no. They might come out with one. Maybe they'll do like a special commemorative, I don't know, Steve Irwin Glock or something, and I might go buy it. But I won't be doing it just to see how different the Gen V is, because I don't think it's going to be much different. I think we'll be able to look at it and see, well, yeah, that ain't much different. I did a video today on the morons that are falling for that shit from the shills and the fearmongers. P-Gar says, I do like some more knives. Well, good. Maybe you'll win. Homestead with Soulless Ginger used his 1 month WAP chat to say, "Did you get my emails for Fur Babies and the Tots?" Yes, I did get your emails. I haven't read them yet, but I got them. I'll read them when I get everything. I saw what bullets you wanted, you motherfucker. Let's see. Greedy ass bitches in this chat. Those are like $30 more expensive than the others. Where am I at? Was that all the supers? That's all the supers. Now let me get to some emails. Mo G said, "Since you do friend of the month for Patreon, have you thought of doing something similar for Subscribestar?" No. I can afford to do anything else. I already go into the red every month on what we do. That would just be more money that I didn't get something back from. I'm not reaching new people, so there's no new people signing up. And the people that have been watching me this long that aren't helping probably ain't never going to help nobody with anything. So it would just be more money I was spending. People who are Subscribestar members get other things. They get special patches and stickers, and they also get entries into the double super secret drawing. I give them entries for that. Edgar Cortez, I would rather everybody go through Patreon. But that got poisoned in a lot of people's minds by people like the Gun Collective, who were given a little slice of Subscribestar when it first started up. It went around like, go away from Patreon. They're anti-gun. They're going after us. Well, yeah, for breaking the law. You were breaking the fucking law, and they told you no, stop it. But they made it look like it was a grand conspiracy of Subscribestar against anything gun related, but mainly because they were getting a cut for sending people over to Subscribestar. They wanted people to think Patreon was anti-gun. And Subscribestar is run by a pro-gun company, so I like to support them somewhat, and I want to have a place for people that don't want to go through Patreon to have a place to donate. But that's what it mostly is. It's mostly an alternative for people who don't want to use Patreon. I don't encourage people to use Subscribestar. It's over Patreon. It's there if you won't use Patreon. Does that make sense? Did I say that in a way that people followed what I was saying? We got another super chat coming in here, I think. It's Per Gustafsson. He donated $556 because he's clever. I need a Mora knife. I am from Sweden. Are they Swedish? I think that's true that they are Swedish. But if you win, choose the Mora knife. Let's see here. Where are we going? Where am I at? I lost my place. Edgar Cortez chimed in here. I'm on the emails. That's where I'm at. Edgar Cortez chimed in and says, "What are your thoughts on this government shutdown?" Well, I don't like it. There's a lot of people suffering because of it. But I also don't like making tax breaks for billionaires permanent, because that's one of the things that's causing all the troubles in this country right now. I don't like much of anything in the great big beautiful bill, because it's it was written by billionaires for billionaires, and I don't like it at all. So I don't dislike the shutdown enough to give in on everything in the big beautiful bill. I don't want to see that made permanent, but you think they'd be able to be adults and come to at least fund resolutions to keep the government open and then deal with other stuff later. But that's not what they want to do. And Mike Johnson is too afraid to come back to the table and do anything, because if they do, the Epstein files might get voted on. So he's running like a scalded dog from that. Because his billionaire donors are going to be mad if he releases the Epstein stuff. Jacoby C chimed in and says, "I've been yearning to ask you," yearning deep down in your loins, "if you had the opportunity to buy a funeral home to make your home, would you change anything? Where would you sleep?" Well, funeral homes a lot of times have bedrooms upstairs and stuff. At least they did where I come from. The funeral director usually lived at the funeral home. It was like there was residential area above or in a different wing, and then there was the public areas. So I guess I'd sleep in the bedrooms. But yeah, if I had a chance to buy a mortuary and it was a nice place, and I was getting a great deal on it because it's a fucking mortuary, I'd be like, more power to me. I don't go into that. You're like, oh my God, there were people died there. I don't give a shit. People die everywhere all the time. I don't make my real estate choices based on it. It's like people who buy, like when I was flipping houses, we have to tell you someone was murdered, and it's, I don't give a fuck. Well, they're dead, right? They're gone. You've already took the body out. Well, then it's not a problem. So yeah, I wouldn't mind a mortuary if it was a good price. Then I'd sleep wherever the bedroom ended up being. I didn't care. Yeah, I'm not someone who's superstitious or hung up on shit like that. I don't care. Frank Rodriguez says McDonald's in China have installed exercise bikes at their tables. Well, that's probably a good idea, but a couple minutes of exercise at a McDonald's, you're doing more harm than good, I'd say. You know how long it takes to run off like 400 calories on the treadmill? It takes me over an hour to do that. It doesn't take me an hour to eat a fucking bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. I can tell you that. It takes me like 5 minutes. So I'll probably take in like 700-800 calories for the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or whatever it is, and burn like 15 on the. So it ain't really making a difference as far as I'm concerned. Next, we got a picture of a puppy. Who sent this in? That was Tim Moeller. He said wet camper. I got to quit that. Wet camper here, he said. Boom. Who's that fuzzy puppy? That's a fuzzy puppy. Got the curly hair. Is it naturally curly hair? Nominal Snowman chimed in here via email and said, excuse me, I'm got the burpees. I bought an M1A about a decade ago with plans to make it into an M14 EBR clone. Well, long story short, this Sage, he said, Sage chassis I need was taken over by U.S. Tactical Supply in Idaho. I swung by there today just on chance because I heard the lead times for the chassis went from a year to a couple months or less. Well, they had one in stock with a slight blemish, $1,100 poorer just for a stock. But now I have a grail gun completed when I get back to where I have my M1A stored at. Yay, $1,100 for a gun stock. That's a lot of money for a gun stock. But if it's something you've been wanting to do for a long time, that's pretty cool. I'd like to see the stock and I'd like to see the blemish. But you didn't send no pictures because you're a dick. Nominal Snowman says, I want a 460 Weatherby silver bullet in case of wear elephants. There's no such thing as wear elephants. There's no such thing. All these wear things people are worried about that don't exist. I don't know where they get this stuff. Audidin 2 chimed in here with a question. Says, have you heard of the Stoeger STR9SC? It's what the Glock 26 should have been. Better trigger and overall better design, same internals, cheap price, and better than Taurus, possibly better giveaway to people in need. Check it out. I should check it out. Let's see. Stoeger. I might have seen it before and just don't remember the name. Yes, I am over age. Oh, I don't know why I put that. It does look like a Glock 26 very much with just some little modifications. It's got kind of looks like more like a Smith & Wesson slide on a Glock frame. Get subcompact 10+1. But the G3Cs are just so good and so proven. I don't know about this STR. Looks nice. Shoot! Ooh. Sneezing. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of decent price guns out there nowadays. I just don't know which ones are as proven. All right, I think that gets us all caught up on the super chats and on the emails. So let's get over here, see if we got any questions coming in on the live chat. I don't know if there are any. Let me look and see. I don't see a lot. Got my health insurance renewal from Blue Cross today. Was $118. Now went up to $1,011. Are you in Alaska? Because I know they're getting hit by the biggest increases. That won't be happening. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. I used to watch you for years. Politics was a little much for me for a while, and I got picked up by your old internet friend, Josh. I think it was Ashkenzi. Super into ham radio now. I remember the ham radio guy. The 2.5 millimeter silver bead sells for $14.25 each. Well, like I said, I would just melt down some silverware. So you make those little drip things, and they make like perfect little balls. If you drop it from the right height into the water, they make, I guess there's a specific height though, that they make these perfect little balls. My grandfather used to make them. He'd sit with a blowtorch and melt lead, not silver. He'd melt lead and make shot. So I figure they could do the same thing with silver. Sure they will. Sure they will. You'll say 70 people. People will pop in 10 till 35 people and just leave. Oh, well, don't have enough. And you won't get to the number if you don't stay in. No, we got enough right off before I even started. See, you have very little faith in people. Sterling silver beads get 100 for $12.99. How big are those? Probably those little tiny, tiny little sterling silver beads. I haven't seen Never Enough Ammo put out videos or go live again yet. He's probably still dealing with his mother's passing. Well, sorry to bother y'all. See you again in a while, I suppose. Well, I guess if you have to leave, you have to leave. Werewolf head lapel pins. Well, that was, we were talking about some stuff earlier before the chat started. So that's not going to make a lot of sense to people. But yes, you can buy a Foster slug mold. I wonder if you can make silver in it, though. Could I melt down like sterling silver and make it in, or does it shrink too much? I don't know. See, I would need to know these things. I don't know these things. And I can't learn new stuff. I don't want to do that. If I learn new stuff, I'll have to forget something old. I give you $5 every month on Patreon. Well, yes, that's good. Patreon's the best way to do it as far as I'm concerned. If everybody if everybody gave $5 a month on Patreon, we'd be flush with money. I'd probably just, if everybody that watched my channel, that ever watched one of my videos, gave $5 a month on Patreon, to be fair, I probably would have taken the money and split by now. Because I know I can't be trusted. It's not that people say, yeah, you got character because you've never sold out. I'm like, nobody's ever offered me enough money. It's a problem. If someone wheeled up enough, if Nick Fuentes or Faritos, whatever his name is, rolled a dump truck of money up to my door, I'd be supporting him tomorrow. If it was big enough dump truck. I ain't got that kind of character. I can't afford to be that resolute in my opinions. I need money. Do you think the newer generation lack of sex lives will cause a rise in obesity from lack of activity? No. The decrease in interactive sexual activity, where you're doing it with someone else, has been facilitated by a couple of different things. One, porn is readily available nowadays. Two, kids don't get lonely because they're constantly connected with each other. A lot of the things that drove guys to hang out with their girlfriend all the time and back in the day was because of wanting a connection to people. Now they're all connected. And three, sex isn't as taboo now. So people aren't taught that, it's bad, you shouldn't do it. So they're not like obsessing about it. People don't obsess over sex. The United States had a very unhealthy obsession with sex throughout the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and it started slowing down in the 2000s. So we haven't really dropped to a point where it's unhealthily low. We've just gotten to a point where it's more normal and, more relative to the rest of the world, because, other places didn't have that huge obsession with sex unless they were like, Protestant Catholic countries. So teenagers don't need to have sex all the time. And I like the fact that they don't feel the need nowadays, that it's not taboo and it's not something that they got to get right now because they don't know when they'll be able to, and they don't want somebody to find out, all that crap. Fine with it. Can a werewolf become massively obese? Yes, there can be. I guess there could be fat werewolves. I don't know though. Their metabolism might make it really hard. You know how like Superman can't get drunk no matter how much he drinks because of his metabolism. Same thing with the Flash. Werewolves probably can't get fat because of their metabolism. They'd probably be very hard. They'd have to be very old and gluttons. I don't think they could ever get to the point like that in the 1,000-Pound Sisters show. Nothing like that, like you said there. Never seen those shows, but I'm imagining that that's pretty gross. Let's see, do we got any more? We got another question came in over here from Officer Tater Hater chimed in and said, you said earlier in the chat that you've run out of things to say. Why not take a page out of my playbook? You guaranteed to weed out the remaining deep throaters of the leather boot. Or just there's too many people doing that already. I don't want to look like I'm jumping on a bandwagon. I think people know how I feel about modern day law enforcement. I don't need to shout it from every rooftop or anything. Believe it or not, I don't think everybody wants to know every one of my opinions. I give them the opportunity to, and look, no one ever hardly asks anything, so I assume they don't want to know. I'm in the same boat as you for the rest of the year. No more gun purchases. Well, that sucks, but I'm not in that boat right now because I got a tax refund. And I sold one of my 2011s. So I've actually got possibly up to $3,000 to spend on guns, or spend some of it on guns and put the rest of it towards other stuff. I got some other stuff I can catch up on, but we'll see. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. It takes me about 40 minutes to burn 300 calories on an elliptical machine, so I very seldom eat at McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's very often. I don't leave my house very often. When I do, it's usually breakfast. If I'm out in the mornings sometime, I will take that opportunity to get a McDonald's breakfast because I love the sausage egg McMuffins and the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits with extra bacon. Especially if they're fresh, I just love them. So I will take advantage of that. But that's so seldom. It's probably like once every 3 months. But there's some times where it might be like in 1 week I go twice, but then I don't go again for like 3 or 4 months, but I do it sometimes. Now for dinner, I ain't that interested in anything from McDonald's for dinner. I don't like their burgers. I'm not crazy about their chicken sandwiches. I will eat their chicken nuggies. So I'll go get me some chicken nuggies and fries if we're eating them at McDonald's, which is rare. I'd say probably 2-3 times a year. I'll do that. But if I'm going to go have fast food, like a sandwich fast food, I'm going to go Burger King and get the original chicken sandwich because that's what I like. That's what I like. With all the industry living New York City, it will once again be safe to fish and swim in the New York harbor. There ain't that much industry in New York City. New York City is mostly old money, stock brokerage, trading, stuff like that. It's not like there's a lot of factories in Midtown. There's not a lot of, that's more in other parts of New York. Shotguns use gas seal under the slug shot, so the slug shot fits in a plastic cup, so it shrinking slightly is not an issue. Well, then, see, you should make me some slugs and then load them into shotgun shells. Although I think if I was going to make a silver shot, I'd rather have just silver shot. Slug might, I guess, would be better for like someone was saying were elephants or something, but or maybe one of those really fat ones, werewolves. Uh, how about the podcast from the four? I can't get it to fucking download because I did not clear my catch out the night, and I guess I had filled up my. I was wondering what that warning was. It was that my you only get so much storage over here on StreamYard, and it fills up, and it didn't record that. So when I went to download, it said storage is full. Would you like to clear stuff to make more space, kind of a thing? So I did. So it's recording. I remember that night I was like, why is it? Am I on the air? Is it recording? Because it's telling me it's not recording. It wasn't telling me. I thought it was telling me I wasn't on the air. It was telling me that it wasn't backing it up, is what it was telling me. And when I go to try to download it from YouTube, it tells me it's still processing. So I don't know what's going on with it. Lead on Steel, still enjoying your Mustang. What's the next mod upgrade? Well, if I keep the Mustang for a while, and I don't know that I will, because, you know, in a year I might say, I want something comfortable, or I want a truck, you know, something just like big and comfortable, because I'm getting old. Going fast is not my main priority anymore. Now, my main priority is I'd like to be able to drive for more than 20 minutes without my back hurting. And if I run into something, I'd rather not get hurt. So, you know, a year or two, I might get a truck instead. But if I but here's where it gets very contradictory. If I keep the Mustang for another year and I decide I want to keep it, well, then what I'm probably going to do is put a Whipple supercharger on it. Take it up to 815 horsepower, maybe 830. So talk about not making any sense. I figure I've never had a supercharger since when I was young, really, really young. And they weren't nearly as good back then. I ain't had one as an adult, so I would like to have a supercharger before I get too old to drive one. You know, before my reflexes get too bad and I can't handle it anymore. And now that the Mustangs don't have a live rear axle, I'll get a supercharger. I would never put a supercharger on one of the older ones. Like Caden's got his is the 2005, so it's still got a solid rear axle. And he talks about putting a supercharger on that one, or one of those boost kits on his. And I'm like, no, you'll spin that thing into a fucking ditch. Don't do that. The song Jukebox Hero by Foreigner is based on a true story of the lead singer getting locked out of a sold out show, as it says in the lyrics. Yes. That's one of my little brother's favorite songs. He's a big Foreigner fan. He's autistic, and he used to lay and rock himself to sleep singing Foreigner. Jukebox hero, got stars in his eyes. He's a jukebox hero. Yeah, he just loved that song. Cold as ice. Yeah, he loved those songs. I like them too, but not as much as him. He was obsessed with them when he was young. I think you burn through more calories when really sick than if you exercise. Lost 45 pounds in 2 weeks while sick with COVID. Yeah, you lose more poundage sick, because weight loss is less about exercise and more about what you eat. If you maintained the same amount of physical movement but cut what you ate in half, you'd lose a lot more weight than if you kept eating the same thing and doubled your amount of activity. Food is the main thing. How many millions of people do you think New York City will lose? None. I don't think there'll be any leaving New York City. I don't see any evidence that that's even true. Who's going to leave because the mayor's different? Who's going to leave? The billionaires, the ones that are going to be taxed? They're not leaving. They're not leaving the infrastructure they've built, the private security force they've built up called the New York City Police and stuff like that. They're not leaving that over some taxes. I don't believe they'll lose any. Manhattan doesn't have enough park benches to sit on, so I have no problem with fewer people living in New York City. There's not going to be really fewer people in New York City. And where are they going to go? Anybody that's in New York City now is there because they live the high life there, or the opportunities they need are there. and that's about it. Or that's the lifestyle they love. That ain't gonna change just because there's a different mayor. That's just fucking propaganda. I don't see any evidence of it. No one ever did answer me if that guy was a communist or not. Because like I say, I ain't looking into it. I don't want his name on my search history. I've driven several vehicles with superchargers. One was a 671 engine. The other had an 871 supercharger V8 two-stroke. Well, and it seems like that story was going somewhere, and then it just stopped. All right, I think we're done. Let me make sure we're caught up here. I think we got all the emails answered. We have. I think we got all the super chats answered and all the questions answered. Wait a second. Let me get over here. Oh, shit. It signed me out. Hold on. Let me sign back in. Make sure we're all caught up. We are. Jeff Patterson was the last one. I did answer Jeff Patterson's, didn't I? What did he ask me? He's the one that said he wasn't going to be able to buy any guns for a while. And I had to be like, I get to buy one. It ain't going to probably be anytime soon. I'll probably wait till around Christmas. So what do I need right now? There ain't nothing new out that I really want. Except maybe one of the smaller blued pythons. I might get one of those. But I did answer. Ma'am Majama is not an official communist. It's not officially a communist, whether you're either a communist or you're not. The 871 would get over 60,000 pounds to over 100 miles per hour. That's pretty damn fast for. Although I regularly go over 100, but not in something like that. But anytime I take my Mustang on the interstate, I pretty much go over 100 because there's one stretch on our road that it's 6-lane divided all the way down, and then it turns into 1 lane, not divided over a little bridge. But there's this one big long stretch, and there ain't nothing. There's no way. There's no cops that can get onto it while you're on it. They can't come across because it's divided. So, and they can't even see you because the center divide is pretty high. So they're not even going to see you on the other side. So from that big stretch, and it's like 3 miles, or 2 or 3 miles, you can just go as fast as you want. And if there ain't nobody in my way, I go as fast as I want right there. And it's pretty straight and easy to drive. So you're not really nothing's going to jump out in front of you. There's no wildlife going to get on the road there. It's mostly water around you. And so, I always pump it up there, at least 100, because that's the only adrenaline I get anymore. So, but that gets us all caught up, I do believe. Company kind of got in trouble since none of the trucks had governors to limit the top speed. Yeah, most of them should have a governor. It's like it's like if you even go out and buy the Jeep 392 Jeep, it's governed to like 99 miles an hour. Because even though they put that big old fucking engine in it, it's still a Jeep. And if you try to go over 99 miles an hour, you're probably going to die. So, yeah, that's not good. So that's why I've never even considered buying one. I thought they were cool that you had the 392 in the Jeep, but you don't get anything out of it. There's just no way. It's governed to where all you're going to get some noise and some low end, torque. That's about it. You can get as much torque in the low end, though, actually, out of the hybrid one. So, or the diesel. So it's not worth it to be limited to 99 miles an hour. Most people be like, well, you never go 99. But I'm like, I just told you, I go more than 99 pretty much every time I hit the highway. So I would go more than 99. You can be convicted of rape if your partner says stop during the middle of sex. Well, if you're having sex with someone and they tell you stop, why wouldn't you stop? If if I was having sex with someone, married to them or not, and in the middle they went, stop, 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 I would stop. I wouldn't have, there'd be no other thing I would even consider doing. So I don't know why would someone not stop if the partner told them to stop? So I really don't understand the issue with that. Someone tells you to stop, you stop. Unless, of course, it's role play. And then you have a safe word. And if they say their fucking safe word, you stop. You know, if you've ever been to an orgy or 4G or whatever, and someone says their fucking safe word, everything screeches to a halt. Not that I know that from experience or anything, but I'm telling you, someone says the safe word, it's like, you can hear it. You can hear the brakes hit. Everyone's like, what's happening? What's going on? What'd you do? Is everybody okay? What happens if you forget the safe word, y'all? You don't forget the safe word. It's made very clear to you right up front what the safe word is. Everyone, it's remember, everyone, the safe word is macaroni, whatever. Where am I at? I think we got caught up, I think. Nice collection. Well, thank you. It took me many years to gather it all up. And I think I might have less guns now than I did at recent points because I've sold some stuff, but so that I can buy something else. So I might be down a gun or two. But that's it for us today. We are all caught up, and we are out of time anyway. So, and the conversation was degrading. Ghost Shadow and Chunky D took it into the gutter, and Welper probably had something to do with it too. Andrew P. So, getting out of here before it's too late, before YouTube slaps us. We got to do the drawing though first. Let me see if there's enough people to do a drawing. Let me see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. Let's see if we get at least 5 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we got enough people. So we got enough people since we counted these ones to do a drawing. So let's do the drawing real quick. Let me count. Let me go back over here and count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 over here. I thought it was 5. No, wait, I gave for memberships. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2. There we go. That's got it better. 3, 4. Yeah, it's still just 4. I thought it was 5, but it's 4. Still, we had the extra, so we're okay. So 4 over here. Let me write that down. Or I'll forget it. You'll be like, how do you forget 4? I'll forget it. Now I'm going to go over here and count. I got to double these ones for the knife drawing. But let's count them first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18. All right, there we go. 17. All right, let's do a drawing. Oh, wait, I got to double that. 17. That's 34, and then 4 more. 38. So between 1 and 38. Where did I go? Where'd my list go? Where did my list go? Where did my list go? Oh, wait, I don't give it for this PayPal one. Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't count those. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right. Got it. 38. Then the winner is 5. The winner is 5. So there's 4 over here, So it will be the last person on the top of the list over here. So it's Jeff Patterson. Jeff Patterson, you won. So let me know, which one would you rather have? The fixed blade, more a knife, more of a camping, hunting knife kind of a thing, or the big old honking pocket knife, the Spartan? I prefer this one, you can tell. But let me know which one you'd like to have. Send me an email to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. In the subject line, put knife winner. And then let me know which one of the knives you want and give me your address. And I'm going to be packaging stuff up this weekend. So get it in by tomorrow. What's this here? You could get charged for rape for not pulling out fast enough. No, that's not true. Also, many men falsely charged with rape is child molestation. What? I don't know what he's saying there, but yeah, there's a lot of people who get falsely charged with rape, but that doesn't mean when you really do it, it shouldn't be charged as rape. But yeah, if you're falsely charged with rape, then you probably chose some bad partners down along the line somewhere. You probably made some bad choices, because most people don't get charged with rape. It just doesn't happen to most guys. And now in divorce proceedings, the child molestation thing is highly overused, because mothers will try to get beneficial court rulings by saying he touched the children, that's why I left, not because I'm a sleazy whore that wanted to go run around and didn't think he was exciting enough. So, but yeah, that doesn't mean though that when people really do it, they shouldn't be held accountable. But thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate it. I will see you all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe till I see you again.